Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. On the 15th of May, 2025, Judge Hippler entered two orders, one directed toward the state of Idaho, the other to the defense. They are entitled Document and Records Hold Order. The following is in relevant part stating what the order directed toward the state says. Based on sensitive information not previously publicly circulated that was reported during a recent Dateline TV program related to the case and the defendant Brian Kohberger, it appears likely that someone currently or formerly associated with law enforcement or the prosecution team violated the court's non-dissemination order. In this first paragraph, there's a footnote number 1 stating, quote, "The terrible night on King Road," end of quote, Dateline, NBC television broadcast, May 9th, 2025. The body of the order continues. Such violations not only undermine the rule of law, potentially by persons charged with upholding it, but also significantly impede the ability to seat an impartial jury and will likely substantially increase the cost to be borne by the taxpayers of Latah County to prosecute this case by extending the time it will take to seat a jury and potentially requiring a lengthy period of juror sequestration. Now, this sentence, that it may significantly impede the ability to seat an impartial jury, now raises the issue of, will this trial be delayed? Because the voir dire process, the process of jury selection, is scheduled to occur July 30th, with the case in chief set to begin August 11th, 2025. The order continues. Accordingly, the court finds it is imperative to attempt to see that the source of such leak is identified and held to account, and that doing so is the best deterrent to future violations. Accordingly, the court finds it appropriate to exercise its discretion by entering this order. So it appears that Judge Hippler is wanting to find out who the source of this leak is so that this person or people can be held accountable here. The order continues. It is hereby ordered that all persons who at any time, past or present, worked directly or indirectly for or on behalf of any law enforcement or prosecution agency engaged in the investigation or prosecution of persons for the unalivings that are the subject of the instant case are hereby prohibited from, and then it goes into a definition of what is spoliation of evidence. They can't delete, discard, override any information regarding any records, documents, messages, and so forth, regardless of whether made or kept on a work-owned or personal account, device, or messaging app, that in any way relate to or document the fact or substance of communications with third persons, including representatives of the media. All documents or materials or records that could potentially constitute a document, even if uncertain whether it meets that criteria, shall be preserved and must be protected from deletion, etc. It is further ordered that within 7 days the state will submit to the court in camera, for Judge Hippler's eyes only, a list of all individuals within law enforcement and prosecuting agencies, past or present, who are known to have or had access to any facts related to the investigation of the defendant, and this includes but is not limited to surveillance videos of suspect vehicle 1 and other related matters. Within 7 days, the state must also provide to the court a written plan designated to address and prevent the future unauthorized disclosure of information related to this case and what it has done or proposes to do to identify any violations of the court's non-dissemination order previously entered in this case. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. Thank you for joining us today.